Welcome to Kathy's Eclectic Garden. I'm Kathy and my garden is in Zone 6A in Northwest Ohio. Today I will show you my Monarch Way Station garden that was planted in May of 2023, now in its first full year. But first, the backstory. After the location was determined, I used orange marking paint to lay out the general size and shape of the garden. It is approximately 4 foot by 18 foot along an east-west facing pathway. The next step was kill the grass and weeds. Flattened cardboard boxes were used to lay on the area overlapping the edges to keep the grass from growing through the cracks. Bricks were used to keep the cardboard from blowing away. I'm in Northwest Ohio after all, and the edging blocks were set in place. In May 2023, the cardboard was removed and the grass and weeds were pretty much gone. I used my electric cultivator to work up the entire area that loosened up some of the remaining roots, which I removed with a rake. The entire bed was covered with a layer of newspaper to suppress any remaining weed seeds from germinating. The paper was watered down and covered with a 3 to 4 inch layer of good compost. 3 stepping stones were placed in the middle of the bed to make it easier to navigate. Then I placed all the plants in the bed, arranging them until they were just the way I wanted, and I planted. Now let's see how it's looking this spring. You may notice that there's no milkweed in this garden, but just 4 feet across the path there is swamp milkweed and various other milkweed plants in close proximity. Here at the top of the garden we have tick seed. This is tick seed Coreopsis sunrise, and it's a full yellow flower. And right below that we have tick seed Coreopsis daybreak, and that will fill in this whole area here. And behind that we have a dwarf crane's bill geranium, and this has been flowering since about the first week of May into April, 1st of May. It was the first thing to flower out here, and it's been flowering ever since. And on the north side of this bed we have pale purple coneflower. Now, unlike the regular coneflowers that you see with the big pink flowers blooming at the top of the stems, these are a pale pink, and the petals are a lot slimmer than those on the Echinacea purpurea. So this is the pale purple coneflower. Here in the middle of the garden we have, on the north side, we have showy goldenrod. And that will be probably the first goldenrod to bloom. I've got 2 different types of goldenrod in this bed. Here on the other side is a stiff goldenrod. And the stiff goldenrod blooms clear. It usually starts blooming the end of June and blooms clear into fall, almost until the first frost. The showy will start blooming here pretty shortly, and it doesn't bloom quite as long. It will probably bloom maybe to mid-August if we're lucky. And in the middle I have pineapple sage. Now what I've shown you so far are all either native plants or native cultivars. I know the pale purple coneflower is a true native. The goldenrods are true natives. The geraniums and the Coreopsis are cultivars. The Coreopsis are proven winners varieties. This section here is identical to the section I just talked about. It's just on the other side of a little walkway we've got cut through the middle of the garden. But I did want to show the pineapple sage in this pot is blooming already. So it's got a few flowers on it. And the stiff goldenrod on this side has a bloom stalk shooting up already. So this one may be blooming a little early this year. And this little plant right here is why that fence is there, because that goldenrod to the west of it, when it falls over, it shades that plant, and you can see it's not very tall. The other Jacob Klein Monarda that I have in my garden is already 3 feet tall. So I'm hoping this one will catch up now that it's got some air and some sunshine. And here in the east side of the Monarch Way Station garden, we have New England aster is here. And that will bloom in the fall. That's my fall interest here. And here we have blue-eyed grass. And this was really looking nice a couple of days ago. We've had rain for 3 days. I mean, hard rain. And it kind of knocked it all over. So it's still blooming though. I'm still getting my little blue eyes on it. And then here we have purple Chablis dead nettle. I planted this as a ground cover and it's doing a really good job. It's ground covering for sure. It is a proven winter's plant and I love the foliage. I love the flowers. Unfortunately, so do the feral cats in the neighborhood, because you can see here and here where they've laid in my bed, which irritates me to no end, but there's not much I can do about it. So I have to keep coming in and trimming this back because it tries to overtake everything. And here we have nodding onion, which is a native. The blue-eyed grass and the New England aster were also natives. And then this is a nativar. It's a perennial. It's opening act pink. The tag that was in it said opening act white, but it's actually opening act pink. And it's a proven winter's plant. And last but not least, the last thing I planted in this garden is these two grasses here. They're native grasses, and they are star sedge. And they'll get another maybe foot tall, so they won't be very big. Bonus footage. On the way back to the house from filming the previous video, we happened by these two planters. I've got two planters planted exactly the same on the north side of my house. We have a bench here. And let's see, this pretty little purple thing here is a Browalia hybrid. It's called Endless Illumination from Proven Winners. The coleus in front of it is a lava coleus. It's lava rose. The little yellow flowers that are around, scattered around, are yellow violas. And this plant back here with the red flowers on it is a glimmer double impatiens burgundy. And last but not least is a Proven Winners Color Blaze Wicked Witch. And that is a plectranthus. So that's my shade garden. Throughout the season, I will be coming back to this garden and showing you things as they're blooming and let you see how it's changing throughout the seasons. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.